Today, we're going to be talking about skilled work visa. I know a lot of you are thinking about coming to Australia on a skilled work visa. I get a lot of DMs from people who are looking to get into Australia on a work visa and they don't want to go through the student route or any other expensive visa option. So they're considering how to use their skills and experience to come to Australia. And I get it because today I have good news for you. I'll be sharing tips, strategies, going to the immigration website and breaking things down on how you can apply, how you can position yourself. I'm also going to be sharing strategies on how you can reach out to employers to give you opportunity. And this is not just for tech alone. If we're just meeting, my name is Noah and I'm a career coach and mentor based here in Australia. And I've been helping immigrants for the last couple of years build skills, gain experience to secure amazing jobs in tech. And I've also helped other people in other fields to prepare for interviews here in Australia so that they can optimize for success. Many of them have gone on to secure amazing jobs. But today, because of the work myself and the team do on the day-to-day basis, we get so many people who say, hey, we want to come to Australia, we love Australia. How can we get an employer to sponsor us from overseas? And oftentimes, to be honest, full disclaimer, I'm not an immigration agent. And as such, I've been careful to say, I don't like to talk about things that I'm not very grounded in. I've got experience applying to some visas for myself and some, student visa, some visitor visa, which, to be honest, I have been successful. This funny thing is that the visas that I applied for, that agent helped me apply to, I've not really gotten, positive outcome from those visas. I've found out that when I dive into the information and go through the method and apply for visa, because when I apply for visa for myself, because of that deliberate action, because I understand the full context, I optimize for success. And most times I'm successful. And that's why I'm saying today, you may not need an immigration agent when you watch this video to the end. So let's dive in. Today, I'm going to be showing you from the source of truth. You see, the first act to be successful in your visa application process is to go to the source of truth. That is the immigration website. And that's where I'm going to be walking you through what the Immigration Department of Australia wants you to know. They want you to know about this visa and how you can position yourself for it. I'm going to start to discuss some of the visa options so that we can then compare and see how you can position for any of these visas. So specifically, there are different routes to come to Australia. If you don't know, there are student visa, PR, and other point-based system. Today, I'm talking about how you can position yourself for sponsorship visa. So let's dive in. There are different options for skilled workers overseas and even onshore. And this table compares different visa sponsorship options. So for example, one of the most popular ones is Visa 482, which is a temporary skilled shortage visa. They've actually changed this to a new visa called Skilled in Demand visa. I'm going to show you and the different streams as we go. But what is important for you to know is the length. So for example, you can stay maximum of 4 years on this visa. Workers can only work for an associated entity unless exempt from this requirement. So basically what they are saying is that you can only work in your nominated occupation. So if you come here as an IT business analyst, you have to work as an IT business analyst. If you come here as a nurse, you have to work as a nurse. If you need to change, you need to then your employer needs to lodge a new nomination for you, right? For you to change your role. So it's very important. It's one of those obligations that you must fulfill. The skill that you need, you must have the skill as an overseas worker or like somebody that is trying to get an employer to sponsor them or nominate them. They must have skills. I mean, why would an employer give you sponsorship if you can't do the job? So you see what I mean? So you need to have the skills, and it's not enough, in my opinion, to just have the skills. You need to know how to market it. And I'll share how strategies that you can use to convince Australian employer, because that's what I do for my students and people that work with me. You must have 2 years work experience, although they've reduced this now to 1 year. I don't know why immigration would not update their website sometimes. This is funny. But let's talk about the second type of employer nomination visa. This is the Employer Nomination Scheme 186 visa. It's a permanent type of visa, and this is very good. But some employers I know shy away from this because when they sponsor you on this visa, there's no geographical restrictions. There is no, the employment will be for at least a period of 2 years after visa grant. So you can see there's a lot of flexibility with this visa. And sometimes people work for 2 years and they just move. So employers are always careful to be sure that they've looked all through Australia, New Zealand, they can't find somebody before they like it has to be a very high skill like position for them to give you this type of visa because it's like permanent. I may be wrong, but I mean, I know that some employers would really do that calculation and be sure that after 2 years, they're not just going to run because it's really a permanent type of visa. Unlike 482, where it's temporal, it's up to 4 years, you have to then change and apply to another type of visa after that 4 year period. So you're pretty much stuck with the employer, which is like a safe bet for them. I'm telling you how an employer thinks about all of these things. I'm able to tell you that because I employ people as well. So I know I'll make those considerations if I were to be a business sponsor. But don't ask me, I'm not yet a business sponsor. Anyway, the relevant registration or licensing must be held if required. So some specialized skills, of course, in Australia, you need to be certified. You need to have that, license, registration for those specialized skills to be able to work in Australia. So if you don't have that, you may have to get that for the employer to even give you any audience. And the third type is the skilled employer sponsored regional visa. This is almost like your 491 visa, right? So you can stay up to 5 years. You would work in the designated regional area. Like you can't work in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne. So you only have to work in designated regional area. The employment here must be at least for 5 years after visa grant. So that's one condition. And you can see in terms of the qualification for you, employer sponsor stream applicant require a skill assessment or less exempt. Here, you need a skill assessment as well. Here, you may not necessarily need skill assessment for some jobs for the 482 visa for some job, like in quote, right? And relevant registration or licensing must be held if required. Same thing with the 186, same thing with all of them basically, because if you don't have that license, you'll not be able to work. So that is like the overview of these visas. So in the next one, I'm going to dive into this 482 skilled in demand stream visa. It was changed from TSS, to the new visa, what is called, I'll reveal it in the next part. It was changed December 7th or so, 2024. So you would be able to learn more about the different streams there. So if this video was valuable to you, you want to see part 2, even part 3, the entire series that will help you position yourself and be the standout candidate to get that visa sponsorship that you truly want. So subscribe to this channel, stay in tune with playlist. I'll see you in the next one.